Hello, welcome to the RC Block. I'm Jamie Nitro. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, I am going to be discussing the new project that I'm about to start. It is going to involve this new Toyin V8 engine. I got this engine from sterlingkit.com, and in my opinion, it's the only place to buy engines because if you ever have a problem, they're definitely going to help you out. They've been there from the start, and I mean, I continue to show support for them because they show their support for me, and they provide me with all the parts that I need if I ever have a problem with my engines. And I mean, they're just a fantastic company to deal with, definitely making the hobby great again. Now I want to get into this guy here. This is the new Toyin V8. And it actually runs fantastically. There was a few bugs to get out of this engine, mostly having to do with the distributor cap, and the Hall sensor was able to move pretty easily on it. Now, I used double-sided tape and was able to get my Hall sensor in the correct spot to prevent all the arcing and everything that people were complaining about. And basically at first you get like a little zap past the point on the distributor, so quite a bit of arcing at first, but now that's been all cleared up. Some of that can also be due to if you have too far of a gap on your spark plug, and that's going to lead the spark to go somewhere else. So those are a couple things to check out if you're getting arcing. Now what I'm going to do with this engine, and as soon as I saw this engine, the image that came into my head, and I hope I can portray it with all the parts, is this big massive motor, and then connected to this big massive motor through the clutch bell here, and that's going to be a 3-shoe modified clutch, so that it will engage at a lower RPM. It's something that I do and will take you guys through as I'm building. This will be the #1 video in this in the series of build, just to get you guys introduced to the project. What I have here is the gearbox that I'm going to use, which I also purchased from sterlingkit.com. I've actually got 3 of these gearboxes. That's how much I like it. They're reliable, nice and smooth. They have 4 speeds, 3 forward, 1 reverse. On these gearboxes, I did a modification and added a bearing into the reverse idler gear, which is that little gear in the middle there, and that changes the direction of the rotation of the output shaft, so you can go backwards. Before, it wasn't sitting on bearings and it was a cap screw, so this little idler gear would move quite a bit. Now, because I put the bearings in there and a thicker shaft, not a cap screw, now that gear sits perfect and no problems. I've got many driving hours on this gearbox already. It's handled a lot of abuse with very heavy machines, so it's a great transmission. And the price, I mean, was $159, must have. So I have this set up. My shifting points are here on the rear, so that's going to allow me to put my servos more closer to the rear drive shaft, and that's going to connect with this gear mesh here. Now, to go and keep this flow going, I'm going to add a drive shaft. I've already made a coupler, machined a coupler that will accept a much larger drive shaft to give it that more scale, big look. And I mean, this drive shaft is very beautiful, looks like the real thing in every way. And that's why I'm using it. Also, if I need to shorten it, I'm able to shorten it pretty easily. Take a 1/4 inch, maybe even more, almost a 1/2 inch if I really needed to, but hopefully I don't have to. And we'll find out after I get everything all set up on this puppy. But yeah, so and then drive shaft will connect to rear differential. Rear differential now is all hooked up right now with the Arma Hoons, the D-boots. Now I am thinking about extending the rear wheelbase and making some extensions to be able to give a wider wheelbase, just to give more of the look that I'm going for. I also might go with the smaller version of these tires, just to give that extra look that I want for this project. Now it's already starting to take shape and my vision's coming out here. So I still don't know 100% how I'm going to do this. What I'd like to do is to put a tank in the rear right behind the drive shaft and make it sit kind of where you can see it but not, so it doesn't look too imposing on the model. And then I want to have my fuel tank. It's not going to be a traditional fuel tank. It's going to be, you know, what I'd like to do is mount it somewhere back here in a way where it's not going to interfere with the drive shaft and, you know, looks like part of the model. So I still have to figure out what I'm going to do there, and I'm not going to 100% know until I build the chassis. But the chassis is going to be all hand built, no plans or nothing. This is just going to be something I design in my head, and I'm just going to make it and create something new here. Now, to go with all of this stuff, I've also thought maybe, you know, I could put the coolant and gas tank over top of the drive shaft, something like this, and kind of have it hidden, but don't know yet. I'm also going to be modifying both of these tanks. I'm going to add a set screw to the cap here on the cooling tank to seal that tank up, and then this will be the fuel tank, and for that there I'm going to add a fuel nipple to the bottom here. That way I can have a vented fuel tank, because this cap here is vented. I'm going to keep that vented. I'm going to have this as my fuel return, and then I'm going to have my output at the very bottom in the middle of this tank. So that's how that's going to go. Now on the next part of this, we're going to need the cooling system, and I want to make that go right in front of the engine, and I want it to kind of, you know, I just want it to sit at a bit of an angle so that when, let's just see if I can get it to kind of prop up and show you what I'm thinking in my head here. Something like that. Now, with that being said, you know, I plan on having I'm going to use the Traxxas locking cable for TRX4, the rear one, nice and long, and I'm going to make up some sort of cantilever suspension setup to be able to, you know, hide my cable a little bit. You're not going to be able to see it in the final build, because on this build everything's going to be exposed. Now, I mean, we got to get a front end on this, and this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of going, you know, old school. Nice, big, huge front tire, big stainless steel rotor on that puppy. This is a new tire. The tire itself is a Proline hot lap, and then this rim, this is a, can't even pronounce the name, but it's a new company who's making these rims. I really like their spoke design. It's a more traditional looking spoke design, not as many as like the Losi Pro Moto. They have a few extra spokes than this, but very nice, simple, very clean looking. I can't wait to set that up. Now, just to give you a idea, this tire is 6¼ inches diameter. The tire that I use for the Morgan is this guy, and this one is only 5 1/4, maybe 5 3/8, but much smaller, almost an inch smaller than this new tire, and that is going to go right there. Now I plan on having an exaggerated neck on here to make it look very tall, and I plan on doing a Springer front suspension for the front, traditional style Springer suspension, and that is basically my next project. All the parts are here, basically just building the chassis. Now the starting of the chassis is going to be in my next video. I'll explain what I'm doing, my thought. As you can see, this is my overall kind of final. This is what I want it to look like. Usually when I start something in a mock-up like this is just to give an idea of where I want the project to finish, and it's kind of in between. You'll never really truly know, because you make things, I make things in my head. I don't use a computer or anything. I like to build chassis and let them flow and build it to the model that I'm building. So you'll see that process, and yeah, I hope to create a really cool RC at the end of this. I'm thinking of a name, something along the lines of, you know, Chucky's Big Wheel. I don't know if you've seen Child's Play, but Chucky's Big Wheel. I think that'll be cool. But again, I'm just playing around here. So, but let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see the more videos coming and what's next. And yeah, good luck on your next build. Bye for now.